Ever since I was younger, I was into video games.
Somebody like the Fuse so I can bring bad news to all these crews who can't NBA jam with the shoe.
Hi guys, welcome back to another beer review. You guys ready to get hype? We are checking out my first ever beer from Bottle Logic Brewing, Anaheim, California, right up the road. You guys know where Disneyland is, you know where Anaheim is. This is Ground State Breakfast Stout. And I have to say that Bottle Logic has, by far, one of the fucking coolest labels ever. There is a lot of stuff on this label, but it is awesome just the way that it's laid out. There's so much information. I mean, it tells you this thing's 9 months. It was aged in bourbon barrels for 9 months. Stout brewed with chocolate and cocoa nibs, aged in bourbon barrels with vanilla and coffee beans. It's like a barrel-aged breakfast stout. 2016, it's got the year on it. Shows that it's a 16-ounce bottle, or you can have 2 8-ounce glasses. It says to cellar and save if you want. You can store this, it says to store at 50 degrees Fahrenheit. And it says this beer is made with malt, yeast, hops, and water. And there's even food pairings. There's barbecued pulled pork, there's ginger snaps, and there's Piave. What the fuck is that? Piave? No idea what that is. Just says on the bottles, our second anniversary approaches. We're reflecting on the growth of the past 2 years, which, by the way, Bottle Logic has exploded because of fundamental observation, if you guys have heard of that beer. And this says, with all the work done and all the beer made, it's just the beginning. This coffee-driven beer is the hearty substance needed to fuel up and break ground on our next year of innovation. So yeah, all kinds of information. Sorry for reading that. I usually don't read stuff like that off the bottle, but it is rad. Bottle Logic, they have been around for about since their second anniversary, but I think they started like brewing beers and stuff in 2013. So yeah, a local beer and a stout. I've been reviewing I review mostly hoppy beers on this channel, and have been wanting to kind of have something different, and I figured now is a good time to get this. I actually ended up trading for extra bottles of this, so big shouts out to Chris and to Jordan for hooking these up. At first I thought I only wanted a bottle, and then after I was reading stuff in the beginning of this, I was like, I need more of those, so I got more. And yeah, I don't know, they say to drink these beers fresh with coffee, so figured drink one now and then just hang on to a couple of them, see how they age. I know you're not supposed to age coffee beers, but you know what, it's my fucking beer, I can do whatever I want with it. So couple reviews of this are up from my little circle of beer bros, so to speak. Ryerson did one, and John, Eric, and Barry did one. So they kind of had differing opinions. I've heard that there's some bottle variations with these beers, so very interested to see how this is. And this has been sitting out for about 25 minutes. I like my stouts like just with a slight chill on them. I don't drink them cold, so hopefully we'll get everything that's supposed to be in this beer out of it. So let's see. I'm excited. I like kind of, I don't know, hypey beers are sort of fun sometimes. This beer was sort of hyped in the beginning. It seems like with fundamental observation, all Bottle Logic stuff gets hyped in the beginning and then it kind of settled down. So this beer looks absolutely sexy in the glass. About a half a finger of like an awesome mocha khaki looking head. There's some big like sudsy bubbles on the edge of the glass, and then it's just like a little film right on top of the beer in the middle of that. But 12.5%. When we swirl this in the glass, there's alcohol leaks. 4 days. It's not that crazy like staining kind of color you get on the glass like you'll get with brewery beers or like with Toppling Goliath stouts. But it looks absolutely sexy. So let's go ahead and shove our nose in it, see what we get. Kind of want to take my time with this one, so sorry in advance if this is a longer review. Maybe it won't. Maybe I'll be able to just pick stuff out right away and we can just drink this and be done with it. That smells fucking awesome. Right away, see, and this is where the bottle variation's getting, because this is not what, I don't think this is what Eric and John and Barry were smelling with their bottle. It is, it's fudgy chocolate right up front, and right underneath that fudgy chocolate you get bourbon. It is warm smelling. It's hot, but it's like that just, I mean, it's like sticking your nose in a glass of bourbon. This almost it does. It reminds me a little bit of Bourbon County, and it's that fudgy, chocolatey bourbon thing. Bourbon County is always warm, fresh, and it's very chocolatey. So this is reminding me of that. So just right away, it's fudgy chocolate, it's bourbon. And then you get like, it's it's the barrels that it's in. It's that charred oak thing. It's not crazy huge in your face, but it's there. It's like that. What's the best way to describe it? I think charred oak's the best way to describe it. Me and Nathan were talking about that during the SR71 video that we did. Or it might have been Assassin. I can't remember. One of those was like a massive like charred oak. Like if you took a piece of wood and just like put flame to it and just charred it, like that smell you would smell. Almost like when you're sitting next to a fire. Yeah, it's that charred oak thing. It says there's vanilla and coffee, but right now this is just being overpowered by chocolate and bourbon. I'm not getting much vanilla. It's more like with the barrel thing, it's charred oak. There's some, it's almost like a bitterness that's there, and that might be the coffee that I'm smelling. But this is so overwhelmingly fudgy and bourbony and like just warm. It smells warm that it's kind of taken over the rest of the smells. You do get that charred oak. I think that kind of, it's weird to say you're smelling bitterness, but I think you guys would know what I'm trying to explain. But yeah, it smells like a big boozy stout. It smells killer, so I am stoked to try this. Chris, Jordan, thank you both. Cheers. That's really good. It's weird because it smelled a lot boozier than it's tasting right now. It is so fudgy and chocolatey. It is fucking delicious. It's like it's like chocolate syrup chocolatey. Like chocolate syrup on a brownie chocolatey. It's fudgy. Wow, that is really chocolatey. And then on the back end, I know I'm kind of missing the middle, but I'm just trying to, what I'm tasting. The back end of that is sweet, so I would say that that's the vanilla that's there. It's not like crazy, like we drank Derivation Blend 4, I think, and that was like drinking vanilla extract. It's not that. There is a sweetness on the back end of that I think is what is the vanilla, but this is so fudgy and chocolatey right on the front of your mouth, on the front of your tongue. It's amazing. If you like chocolatey stouts, this beer is fucking you'll love it. And there's a killer like bitterness that's right on the middle of my tongue that I'm thinking is the coffee. I'm not tasting a lot of coffee in this. It is so overpowered by chocolate and bourbon. But it's just, there's like a bitterness. It just kind of sits on your tongue. It's not hot on the finish. There's a little bit of warmth that's going down, and it just kind of stays like just in your chest for a second, goes away. I mean, it lets you know that it's 12.5%, but this is really, really drinkable for the ABV and for this bottle, what I'm drinking right now at this temperature. The mouthfeel is fantastic. It's a medium plus mouthfeel. I mean, it's not quite to like chewy, but it's plenty like creamy. It's great for 12.5%. A lot of times when you get high alcohol beers, they'll get kind of thin, not thin, but they taste a little thinner, and you want to be like chewing on them. It's not quite to like that toppling Goliath, like you're chewing on it, but the mouthfeel is awesome. It's creamy. It's almost like drinking, like if you were to make like I don't know, it's almost like a chocolate milkshake with like bourbon in it. Yeah, the bourbon's there. And that like charred kind of oaky bitter thing that's on the nose is like right in the middle of my tongue right now. It's explosively chocolatey, fudgy, right at the front. And then you get that bitter kind of charred oak kind of, it's like bitter. It's gotta be the coffee that's in it. It's like bitter coffee, charred oak. And then it just finishes with like that sweet kind of bourbon heat that just goes down. This beer's fucking amazing. I like this a lot. I would love to do, and maybe we'll do that. I'd love to do a blind kind of tasting with this in Bourbon County, because Bourbon County is, I mean, as far as like a regular release barrel aged stout, it's my favorite. And that beer's so fudgy and so chocolatey. And this is the same thing. It's chocolate for days. It's like chocolate cake with bourbon in it. It's crazy. Awesome, awesome stuff. I like this a lot, and I would rate this very, very high for me, for my preference. I like chocolatey stouts. It's got that sweetness to it, but it's not like sweet cloying. It's like that rich, decadent, like chocolatey, fudgy, velvety thing. And like I said, it's got enough heat on it, but it's not gonna kill. You're not gonna like labor through drinking this. This is something, I mean, I don't know. I've already drank almost half of this glass. This is one of those beers where you wouldn't sit and be like, I have to, you know, I'm gonna sip on this for 5 or 6 hours. I mean, you could drink this in 25, 30 minutes. Really, really easy drinking as far as a 12.5% barrel-aged stout. I kind of wish there was a little bit more coffee, like coffee flavor. I'm getting the coffee bitterness. I kind of wish there was a little bit more coffee flavor, and I would love a little bit more vanilla. I like the sweetness that's on it, like on the finish of this beer, but I don't think it's like that crazy. I just wish there was a little bit more vanilla, and that might just be something. It's been in the bottle for a month already, so the vanilla's kind of fallen off, but this is A+ for me. I love this beer. I really, really like it. So as far as a grade goes, like 98. If there was more of a chocolate flavor and maybe some more vanilla, like on the finish of it, I might even go like up 99 in the 100 range. This beer was hyped. A lot of people love this beer, and I can see why. It's a really, really well-made beer. The mouth feels great. I love the fudgy chocolate notes. I like the bitterness that you get from the coffee. I like that charred oak kind of barrel note that you get. I just wish there was a little bit more vanilla. If we're nitpicking, a little bit more vanilla and a little bit more like coffee flavor, but it is what it is. That was Ground State Breakfast Stout, an amazing first beer from Bottle Logic. Chris, Jordan, thank you guys so much for hooking those up. I'm stoked to kind of see how these things age. So if you guys have had Ground State, let me know what you think. Leave a comment below. Sorry for the longer video. I just kind of want to take my time with this one, and I'm glad I did. I'm going to enjoy sipping on this for the rest of the night. So as always, guys, thanks for watching. I am out of here. I appreciate all the likes, the comments, the new subscribers. Welcome. Thanks for checking out the videos. Yeah, and I'm done. That's it. No mas. Till next time. Ooh, bourbon burps. I will see you later.
Ever since I was younger, I was into video games.
Somebody like the fuse so I can bring bad news to all these crews who can't NBA jam with the shoe.